Hi, it's Matt and Liz Raad here, and welcome to today's session where we're going to take a look at our website buying strategies for success. And what we want to cover today is how you can reach your online goals faster and easier. But in particular, we want to have a look at our successful website buying strategies, because you do need a strategy when you get out there and start buying these websites, and when you're on Flipper looking at all these fantastic websites, because it's so unlimited what's available there.
Because that's what we find is the issue for a lot of people, and why they aren't successful at this is because it is very tempting to go onto Flipper and grab, buy up all these websites. But what we do is teach our clients how to actually step back, and before they even start looking on Flipper, actually go in, set themselves a strategy and a goal, so that when you are getting in there and looking for websites to buy, you're doing it with a very targeted focus.
And with a business strategy in mind.
Yeah, with a very set intention in your head, and also looking at it not just as a hobby and as something maybe a little bit of extra cash flow online, but really actually coming at it as a real business that's going to make you good money.
Or a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money.
Down the track, this can make you a lot of money when you know what you're doing here.
And will be a portfolio of assets for you going forward into the future. So what we want to just cover first of all is, okay, why do you need a strategy? Because like we just said, without a good buying strategy, you won't know how much you should pay or what sites to buy. And you'll be taking unnecessary risks, because it's very tempting when you don't have a strategy and a really good set intention and focus. It's very tempting to get carried away with what whatever's coming up and get excited about a site, but it may not necessarily fit in your portfolio or be the sort of site that you actually really want to run. So we tend to have a very focused goal in the certain types of sites that we buy as well.
And of course, you could waste time and money, because it's not just about money. Here we are talking, that bullet point before it, talking about risk. It's also about time. You don't need to waste your time or energy or headspace on collecting up websites that are literally wasting your time. So, and we've also mentioned this just briefly before, which is if you don't have a good buying strategy, you're not going to be creating a valuable business asset for your future. Because what we see is most people don't think of these as highly valuable business assets. Even if you're buying, $200 or $500 or $5,000 type websites, they're highly valuable at the end of the day, or can be, especially once you build them up. So go in seriously, as this is a business venture.
And of course, if you don't have a strategy, you won't get to make heaps of money and quit your job or do whatever it is that you want to do in your life by earning income online, semi-passive or passive income online. So I think that's probably the most important one. Having a strategy means you get to your goals faster and easier.
So who wants to quit their job?
Yeah. So what we want to share with you now is some important concepts that we learned from our business brokering and from dealing with a lot of high net worth business entrepreneurs. And this is something that all of them had in common, and that is a real key to success in business, in life, in anything that you do. And very first of all, and one thing that many people don't realize when you're going into this game, especially online, you need to go in thinking of yourself not as a worker, not as buying yourself a thing where you're going to be stuck to the computer for 24 hours a day. You're going in to this as an investment of money that's going to give you a return and pay you cash flow. So this is the way that all high net worths view any business that they buy. They are an investor, not a worker. And you might be familiar with this concept from Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, where he talked about his poor dad telling him to go out and get a good job and a safe, secure job, but his rich dad telling him to go out and get into business and make sure that he was a true business owner and investor. So he put down the money, but other people did the work. And in this incredible age of outsourcing, that is far easier to do these days. The other thing that you need to remember, and this is more commonly known now, but when we first started in online world, websites were certainly not considered assets. They were considered like an online brochure or a pretty thing that you could look at, but they weren't considered an asset in themselves. The sort of websites that we're buying are wholly online-based businesses, and they are a valuable asset. So you need to start thinking about them like that, like you're investing. We treat investing in websites just like we would treat investing in property, in a house or an offline business or anything like that, or shares. So we consider websites as another class of investment for us.
One that you can add value to, one that you can sell down the track for a great amount of money. And that leads us to our next point, which is you always want to be ready for the end game. Okay, start with the end in mind. And I'm sure any of you in business have heard that, or I hope you have. And that is, well, it's actually one of the number one problems we saw with a lot of business owners when we were helping them sell their businesses. They'd never thought about the exit day. And what we like to teach our clients are, from day one, you need to start thinking about your exit plan, okay? And this is what we found all the high net worth business entrepreneurs we've ever dealt with are doing as well. When they're looking at buying a business, they're thinking to themselves, okay, we need to have this set up properly so that we can sell it one day down the track for a great price. And you can certainly do that with websites at any level.
So the next question is, what strategy do I use? And for us, to start with, we treat it very like investing in property, like we just said. So we look for very simple sites. It's like looking for the worst house in the best street, but a simple house that you can do something very simple renovation to. So we're looking for simple sites that we understand, that are easy to run, with simple renovation opportunities that generate passive income, because we're not trying to buy ourselves a job, we're buying ourselves investment assets that pay us every month. So here's some of the strategies that we use. We use the instant cash flow strategy, the bargain hunting strategy, the safely diversified portfolio strategy, the roll up your bank and leapfrogging strategy, the $1 billion business strategy, and the golden payday strategy. So we use a combination of a whole lot of different ways of buying websites, and that's what we teach our clients as well. And depending on where you're starting out, what budget you're starting with, what level of experience you're starting with, what your goals are and where you want to get to, that will determine the sort of strategy that you're going to use coming into this marketplace. So in the coming sessions, what we want to do is show you how we use these strategies to buy websites, and also some of the criteria we use to target the best websites to buy. And of course, we want to show you how you can do a $1 billion strategy on a $200 budget, because that's what we love about this market so much. As we said in the previous video, that you can get in at any level. And so no matter what your starting budget is, you can start buying websites and making money online and building a valuable portfolio of website assets.